I don't know about you, but there have been times when I have just felt very frustrated and have just thought like, what's the point of having a second photographer? And after years of hiring seconds and even working as a second myself, today I'm gonna tell you how to get the most out of your second photographer on a wedding day. I'm Luke Cleland. I'm a wedding photographer based in Toronto, and I run a six-figure wedding photography business that I started in 2013. Now, when I started my business, I shot a lot of weddings by myself, and then every so often I would need to hire a second photographer, and I felt like I just never knew what I was doing. I didn't do a good job with that. And then after about 5 or so years, I got married, and my wife Allie and I worked together on the business, and she second shot for me. And that process of working with, Allie over and over again, I felt like we created a really great system of having a second photographer. I would say the number one thing that I learned, and if you just watch this part of the video, I think this would make a huge impact. And that is you need to communicate. When they were taking weird photos, when they were wearing weird things, when they were saying weird things to my clients, it wasn't them mostly. It was my problem. It was because I didn't communicate what I wanted. And so I felt so frustrated. I would get so frustrated with these second photographers, but I didn't realize that the problem was not them. It was me, that I didn't properly and clearly communicate to them what I wanted. Your second photographer can't read your mind. Even if you like their work, even if they take good photographs, you still need to clearly tell them what you want from them. Otherwise, you're going to get frustrated. You're not going to get as much as you could out of a second photographer. Get a shot list. There are two aspects of the shot list that I give to my second photographers. And I kind of run through this as we talk through the schedule of a wedding day. So first, I give them a kind of specific list of very specific images that I want them to get, even with this type of lens or the focal length that they need to be at. It's not a ton of images, but there are things throughout the day that I say, hey, I need you to get this image. One of those, for an example, is during the ceremony, I want my second to get a perpendicular shot of the bride being handed off from the parents or the father to the groom. So I tell my second specifically where to stand, what lens to use, what kind of image I want. The second part to that shot list is I show them a full gallery of my weddings. It's important to give them, specifics, but you can't dictate every single shot that, a second photographer is going to take for you on a wedding day. And so giving them a general sense and a general idea of what kind of images you give to your clients is really helpful. And so even things like, do you shoot primarily horizontally or vertically? They're going to clearly see some of those things through a gallery. And so I think it's helpful to walk through, get on a Zoom call, meet with your photographer in person and scroll through a gallery. Do you need them for a full day? This is honestly kind of why I made this video, because I wanted to tell you this. This is something that I don't want to tell you because I feel like it's a secret and I think it's really good, even though it's probably not a secret and you've already thought about this before. But do you need a second photographer for the full day? This is such an industry standard to have a second photographer for the full time that you're there. But I just went back to what is really important for my clients. And what I found was that I just didn't need a second photographer at every aspect of the day. So an example is I really like to have a second photographer during the ceremony. I think this is a really good time to have another person. And I found that there's shots that I want, there's places I just can't be when there's only one of you. However, when it comes to, say, getting ready, bride getting ready photos, I don't need a second photographer. And I actually don't think it's best for my clients. I find that it's too crowded. I feel like I get a bunch of unnecessary photos. Of course, you can get a great shot from a second during getting ready. But for me and how I approach things in getting ready, for an example, I would rather have an assistant. I'd rather have someone helping me, getting flat lay stuff, running here, getting the dress, doing this stuff, instead of having another person taking photos. think through your wedding day. Like, do you need someone there the full day? I think this is a really helpful idea if you are maybe starting out in wedding photography and maybe you don't have that much of a budget, but you want someone to help you on the day, but you can't afford to have someone the full day. Like, hire someone for a few hours. A second photographer is a freelance, an employee that you are hiring to do a job for you. And that means you can set the policies, the boundaries, what you want to talk about. If you don't want to talk about your prices or your consultations, if you don't want to answer certain questions like that to your second photographer, you don't have to. I don't talk badly about clients or guests or vendors with my second photographer. So if my second photographer starts talking a certain way, I say, no, sorry, we don't do that on this day. If a client starts treating my second photographer poorly, I step in and say, no, that this doesn't happen on my business. So these are all things that I tell my second ahead of time, that if a guest is speaking weirdly to you, you feel uncomfortable, come and tell me immediately. I set up boundaries for my second, for myself, so that I don't feel that frustration, because that's when I think back to all the times that I felt frustrated, that I felt like it wasn't a good working relationship, it came back to me not being proactive and not talking about these things ahead of time. Something that I found really helpful is I have an app called Notion where you can just kind of put notes and stuff. Well, I have a document that's called Second Photographer. And anytime something happens at a wedding, or I think about, I should have said that already, I put it in that document. So anytime I hire someone new, I go through all of these things ahead of time so that there's no confusion or frustration on a wedding day. I've had some great experiences, working as a second myself for other photographers. And I've had some bad experiences. And I would say most of my, if I've ever had a bad experience with a photographer, it comes down to the other photographer feeling really stressed and then taking that out on me. That's not okay. It is not okay to snap at a second. It's not okay to tell them to hurry up. And you can't take your stress and your unpreparedness out on them. So treat them how you'd want to be treated. Have brand standards. Now, I found that this was kind of the most awkward to talk about, but these are boundaries specific to the brand of your business. While yes, I think it's awkward to have these conversations, I think it's really important. You should ask your photographer to dress in the way that you want your brand to be dressed, right? I think it's important to give some guidelines. That I photograph weddings wearing a suit. I cannot have a second photographer show up in shorts or a t-shirt, right? That would throw my brand off completely. You should think through what are your guidelines about your second photographer, talking to the couple. I know that maybe sounds super intense, but you should have a conversation about what it looks like. Do you want your photographer cracking jokes and making fun of people on the wedding day? Maybe not. So have that conversation saying listen, my brand approaches weddings this way, and I want you to act a certain way with my couple and with the guests. Another thing to think about is can your photographer mention their own business? Do you want them, getting people to follow them on Instagram, handing out cards? Now, I usually haven't had an issue with this, but it's something to talk about ahead of time so that, something doesn't pop up like that and you're just wait, what is going on here? Photos and social media. This is also can be a little tricky, can be a little awkward to talk about, but decide whether your photographer ahead of time, before the day of, you need to be really clear about this. Can they use photos that they took on your wedding day? My seconds cannot use any photographs taken on a day. They can post things to social media if they want. If they take something with their phone, showing the location, saying I'm second shooting for Luke, that's totally fine. But they cannot use any photographic work for their own day. That's just a decision that I've made. And I make that really clear so they know ahead of time. They aren't surprised with that, at the end of the wedding day. I really think that if you have some of these conversations, if you make, a list of things to tell your second photographer and you do all these things and you over communicate clearly ahead of time, man, I think you're going to get so much more out of your second photographer and it's going to be a much better experience. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I've missed that you like to tell your second photographers. And yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what you guys do as well. Okay, bye.